You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, some intense video from Cherryvale of a house fire fully engulfed.
But first, we're taking a look at volunteers in Carthage that are working to preserve their city's historic beauty.
And take a look at that. Clear skies this morning. Another warm and breezy day ahead of us. So look at your forecast right around the corner.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Samantha Walker.
I'm Chris Warner. It's just after 7 a.m. on this Friday, February the 6th. We have made it to Friday. A great downhill run to the weekend, though, because, it was pretty cold on Wednesday. Wednesday was one of our colder days this week, and then just
every day got better and better and better.
Yeah, it does.
And now we're here and it's beautiful.
And, with this nice weather, it is an excellent opportunity to get out and help in your community as well.
Yeah, and a group of Carthage volunteers are working to preserve their city's historic beauty. In this week's Doing Good segment, KOAM's Ty Parks introduces us to a nonprofit that's making their community shine for residents and tourists alike.
For this week on Doing Good, we're looking at a nonprofit that seeks to brighten the city of Carthage.
Really, I think it's very unique in the sense that it has such a large historic home district. I mean, when people think of Carthage, I know for me personally, I think of those beautiful old homes on Grand Street.
Vision Carthage offers programs to help residents improve their homes.
So we have a very local focus, but we really do anything we can to make Carthage better, whether that involves flowers on the square.
With work days planned throughout the year where people can volunteer and plant flowers.
We're very involved with our local garden clubs and working with volunteers to beautify different spaces in the Carthage community. Public art, we have the beautiful new maple leaf sculpture that is there in the roundabout.
All of this to keep Carthage a shining city on the hill.
It's not just a surface level making things pretty. It's much deeper than that. It affects tourism. Carthage is on historic Route 66. We have that anniversary year coming up, and people from all over the world come through Carthage, and we want it to be beautiful and special for them, something that they remember, that they want to stop and stay and shop and eat and play.
For Doing Good in Carthage, Ty Parks, KOAM News.
Vision Carthage offers classes that people can attend to take advantage of the home restoration programs.
Of course, my wife is from Carthage, so we get up there, see the family quite often. An absolutely beautiful community.
My favorite city square.
Yeah, it's just incredible, and it's great to see that they're continuing to work to preserve all of those historic homes. There's so many historic homes and properties up there. They're just absolutely amazing. You know what else is also gorgeous and absolutely amazing?
What, Chris?
It's not me. It's this, those clear skies and the warm temperatures. Ah, yes, it's going to be another very almost late March, early April-like day. Wesco camera, 7th in range line, looking at that sunrise. It's the same view with the beautiful coloring. And the KDOT camera, 69 in Baxter Springs, also looking at the sunrise, looking nice. Now again, we don't control the DOT cameras, but the MoDOT camera at 20th in range line, it is positioned nicely. Got a great view of the traffic, which right now there's not too much, but it's pointed west. But either way, still, those skies are clear, and that's how they're going to remain. Our temperatures this morning, most of us are a bit above normal out there. You can see we've got some low 40s. Sedan looks like now the warm spot at 43 this morning. Parsons had been the colder spot. You dropped down to about 29. You're back up to 31, and it looks like 30 now is the cold spot in Grove. So again, not a bad start to the day, and all of these numbers are above average out there. Our future track showing us those gusty winds. That's what we have to deal with today. It's just like yesterday's gusty winds, except this time it's out of the north instead of the south. We're going to go about the mid-40s by 9, upper 50s by noon, highs upper 50s to the low 60s, and north winds this time 5 to 15, gusting to 25. Our warm weather will continue through at least next Thursday. We'll talk about that and next week's rain chances here in just a few more minutes. Sam?
Chris, thanks. A fully involved house fire broke out in Cherryvale, Kansas Wednesday night. Independence Fire assisted local crews with an engine and 3 personnel. There were no injuries, and the Kansas State Fire Marshal's office is assisting with the investigation. Crawford County may soon hit the brakes on public transportation. The Southeast Kansas Community Action Program needs $144,000 by February 13th or bus services will stop. The program provides rides to doctors, appointments, and essential services for people who cannot drive. 70% of funding comes from state and federal sources, but the remaining 30% relies on donations that are running out.
The matching funds that we received have gotten us this far, and without additional matching funds to cover the gap to get to June 30th, we'll have to suspend services.
Some riders are working on backup plans. The buses serve more than transportation needs. They bring economic activity to local communities. Chief Executive Director Jamie Whitney says the service generates local revenue while providing maintenance jobs. Well, Super Bowl Sunday typically sees a rise in DUI arrests, with drivers getting behind the wheel after drinking too much. KOAM's Kenny Foreman spoke with a couple of local law enforcement officers to find out what they'll be monitoring and what drivers should keep in mind.
The Chiefs might not be participating this year, but that's likely not going to deter many folks from throughout the 4 states from enjoying their Super Bowl parties and perhaps having a few drinks. This, of course, is prompting many local law enforcement departments to be on high alert for potential drunk drivers.
We're always out patrolling, always looking for impaired drivers, so we're watching for minor traffic violations to kind of give us clues if they're impaired. And we make our traffic stops from that and kind of go and judge impairment after that.
The common consensus here? Know who's taking you home, or simply don't drink if you know you're going to be driving.
You have a game plan. You can either have a designated driver, call an Uber or a taxi, but before you go, have a game plan. If you feel like you're too inebriated to drive, you more than likely are.
Assistant Chief Stever also encourages pedestrians to be on high alert as well.
Just use the sidewalks. I would say, don't walk out in the middle of the roadway if you can. If you're a pedestrian, use your designated sidewalks. You're always safer using a sidewalk versus walking out on the street.
As Patrol Lieutenant Miller sums up, it only takes one poor decision to lead to tragic repercussions.
The consequences obviously are jail time, paying fines, losing your license, but on the severe end, you could take somebody's life. An innocent person could lose their life from a decision that you make while you're drinking. So we also want to avoid any of those consequences.
Kenny Foreman, KOAM News.
And those are our top news stories this half hour. Coming up on this Fitness Friday, Martez Wilson from 24 Elite Gym debunks some common gym myths. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Well, this morning I'm actually joined here with Martez here at 24 Elite. We're excited to talk about, it's February now, and in January people set some high resolutions for the new year, fitness being one of the top ones. But it's easy to get discouraged kind of going into the year, especially because, gyms can be an intimidating place to kind of get started in. Are there certain gym myths that you guys are trying to fight against?
Yeah, so some of the common gym myths I feel like I hear probably on the regular is that fall off usually starts because people hit it hard. That confidence starts to dwindle a little bit as they get into it, whether it's maybe they're not seeing what they want to see, or maybe it's not going as fast as they would like. So I feel like one of the myths is you hop in the gym and you feel like since you're here, you're doing everything that's supposed to happen quick, and it doesn't really work like that. It takes time and effort. The second thing is I think the gym can be a little bit intimidating. So as you start to come to the gym more frequently, people see a lot of those maybe bigger or fitter people, and they assume that, I should be fit to get here. But that's not exactly how it works. You don't go to a doctor when you're healthy, right? You come here to get healthy. So I think one of those big myths is people have this inflated expectation, and I think lowering the expectation is the first step, especially as you go on.
Amazing. Do you guys do anything to kind of try to make the gym maybe a more comfortable place or a more inviting place so it's not as scary and intimidating for some of these first comers?
Yeah, so I think one of the biggest things, here at obviously 24 Elite, is the people are one of the biggest things. So the workers having a smiling face that greets you as you walk in the door or as you leave, having someone that you can confide in, or if you do have questions, someone you can ask who is knowledgeable and can help you. I think that's a big thing too.
And for, some of these people who may be entering the gym for the first time, they say, I want to make a change, I want to be better with my body. Do you have any recommendations for them maybe starting to get started on that fitness journey of things they should maybe keep in mind?
So yeah, when it comes to getting started, I mean, my first step is always just getting started. You know, like I said last time, the best time to start is obviously today. The next best time would have been yesterday, realistically. So, I mean, just getting started is going to be your first step. The second thing is, like I said, lower that expectations. I feel like everyone goes into it like assuming or thinking they kind of know where it's going to be or what it's going to be like. So, I mean, you got to be open to change and be willing to, you know, take that first step. It's going to be uncomfortable, but you got to be comfortable being uncomfortable. So if you can kind of remember those few things, I think it makes it a little bit easier with getting the ball rolling.
Amazing. And for the people that you've worked with, you know, that do power through, that, you know, like, I am going to show up, I'm going to put in the work, I'm going to put in that commitment, and maybe they were scared at the beginning, you know, kind of what's the reaction to when that success starts to pay off?
Well, I mean, it's rewarding for both sides. Me as like someone who is in that training seat, so, you know, kind of knowing what the end outcome looks like. And then for, you know, someone experiencing it the first time, it's super rewarding. Not to mention like the burst of like happiness and just genuine love for the gym that kind of builds off of that is pretty amazing too. I mean, nothing worth having is easily achieved. So, I mean, working is super beneficial just for, I mean, I think just the spirit, the mind, the heart. So it's kind of hard to put in like simple words, like that feeling you get after you achieve that, but it's definitely worth it.
Well, hopefully, you know, some people watching at home will maybe get that inspiration, and maybe this is their next step to starting that fitness journey. And I know when we come back, we're going to maybe help walk some people through some of these machines that they may see for the first time walking in here to maybe make it a little less intimidating.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, perfect. We'll be right back.
Here's your Skywatch weather forecast from the trusted Roper Kia Weather Center.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is 7:16 on this Friday morning. Wanted to start with this because those of you who enjoy being able to stay out a little later, get a little more sunlight, well, this month alone, our region's picking up 50 to 60 minutes of extra daylight, and by next month, we get an additional 70 minutes or so out there. So it's going to start to be nicer, longer. We're going to get more sunshine, and we're going to get plentiful sunshine today. Why? Because the future track says so. Also, other model data says so too. It's going to be a nice, beautiful day. We're going to have the winds. They're going to be like yesterday, just as breezy, but this time out of the north. But other than maybe a couple of clouds in our far northeastern counties, that's all that's showing up on the future track, at least during today. Now, overnight, after midnight, we'll start to go partly cloudy, but because we're going to stay clear through the late evening and we're only looking at patchy clouds, we don't get to keep in any of that warmer air today, so it will be a little colder tonight. But don't worry, it will still warm up again on our Saturday. Partly cloudy skies, maybe even briefly mostly cloudy for some folks as this rolls on through. Our rain for next week has been delayed by about a day on the new updates this morning, and so that has also kind of altered our cloud pattern. And what I mean is this cloudiness tomorrow is what we were kind of expecting today. And then for Sunday, the clouds we're going to see Sunday is what we were expecting Saturday. But that's okay. Like I said, that's the biggest near-term change with the system running a little bit behind. So by Sunday, we do go mostly cloudy in the first half of our Sunday, but then those skies will begin to clear by the late evening hours, and we'll have clear skies Sunday night into Monday. And then as we head into Monday, Monday's going to be like Sunday with the cloud cover in terms of we will spend the first portion or most of the day with clear skies, and then clouds will begin increasing later in the evening hours across the region. As for today, though, again, sunny, upper 30s to start. We're going to be about the mid-50s by 11 o'clock this morning. Our highs today into the upper 50s and low 60s. And like I said, the north winds, it's the same numbers as yesterday, just north instead of southwest at 5 to 15. Gusting up to 25 on occasion. As we head into the evening, again, clear skies through the evening, so we drop back to the upper 30s and low 40s by 10. But like I said, we also don't get to trap in any of that warm air, so we're going to be about 30 degrees overnight tonight. Still technically above normal for most of us, but definitely colder than where we're starting the day for most of us as well for today. Northeast winds tonight around 5 to 10 miles an hour. South winds tomorrow around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Upper 50s, mid 60s on Sunday. And then take a look at Monday into the low 70s on average for highs. So we could, in some cases, be looking at some record highs on Monday if we manage to get that warm out there before the clouds start to roll in. Now, when they do, an isolated sprinkle or two is possible, but the slightly better rain chances are now Tuesday through Friday. We'd like to see those numbers increase because we do need some rain across the area. Showers, perhaps a thunderstorm or two. Nothing severe expected at this point because right now thunderstorm chances are pretty low. But if you were able to get a storm where you see the rain, you might get a little more rain, which would be more beneficial. We stay above average still through at least Thursday. A little below average on Friday. Valentine's Day looking great. We're dry, seasonably cool into the upper 40s and then mid-50s on Sunday. Let's check your forecast. We are back with Martez Wilson right after this as he walks us through some of the machines you might see at the gym.
Welcome back. We're here again with Martez at 24 Elite Gym, where he's walking us through some of the machines that you might see when you step into a gym, especially if it's your first time, so that way it's a little less scary. So starting off, you said these are some of the common ones that people may see first thing.
Yeah, so I feel like the most common one that most people are at least associated with are going to be all of our cardio-based equipment. So as you can see here, we have quite a few select matrix treadmills, leading more towards like our stair steppers. If you look a little bit farther, you can see we have a few ellipticals, some assault bikes behind you, but these are probably going to be the most common ones you're going to see around. And then as we get a little bit deeper into this, I'll give you this long alleyway to walk down. So this is your cardio for the day.
So you're getting the steps in, right? That took the
Exactly.
10,000 steps or however
I guess
many.
you're always personal training, right?
Yeah.
So the cool thing about it is too, in this room here, we have a red light therapy bed. So really good for like muscle fatigue, muscle aches, recovery. We also have some tanning beds in there too. So if you are someone who does like tanning, that is free with your membership here. So we have 3 beds in there as well. So as we get a little bit deeper into this gym, or the dungeon I always like to call it, because this is where you're going to start seeing a lot more of the heavier weight get lifted. This is where we're going to get to more of our plate loaded based machines. So as you can see, we do have going to be your squat racks, a lot of your leg press rigs. We have a few different variations when it comes to like the hack squats and things like that as well. We have a huge variety of when it comes to dumbbells. We even have a padded area that you could use when it comes to like dropping your weight and things like that to protect the weight and our floor realistically.
Yeah, and I see there's a bunch of, wide range of weights for, any level. Right?
Exactly. So you want to be able to start at every level. Like I said, I feel like everyone has that weird mindset to where you have to be big to be in the gym, and that's not how it works. You get big in the gym. So yeah, the dumbbells range from, 5 pounds all the way up to 150. So no matter what level you are, there should be weight here for you realistically. So one of the cool machines that I really like that's a little bit more of a specialty machine here is going to be in this corner here. So I'm going to take you guys a little bit deeper into the gym. Try not to knock anyone over.
So much going on here.
Yeah, that's the good thing with the new year. It brings in a lot of new faces, and we love to see that. We love to see people making those changes and obviously making, a change in their life. So one of my favorite machines is going to be the pendulum squat here. You don't see it at a lot of places, so it's really cool because it does take a little bit of that stability and assistance out when it comes to like balancing. I feel like when you get to an older age or, recovering from injuries, that's one of the things that usually can catch you is having to balance or stabilize out. So I'm going to show you guys how to kind of use this and give you guys a few reps so you can kind of see what I mean by that.
Oh, perfect.
So this machine's pretty cool. So it's a little bit interesting getting into because you do have to duck under that. But once you get in here, you're just going to brace yourself like you would any other squat or leg press. And with this one, it has a pretty easy release valve here for like safety, racking, things like that. So you would press up. This is going to release for you. And then you're able to simulate that squat, get nice and deep. I'm able to take my hands off. I can stabilize. I can balance. I can press up. So I don't have to worry about like my knees buckling or things like that. But I can still load this pretty heavy to get a good lift out of it. So it's one of the ones that a lot of people like if they're coming back from injury or maybe just getting to that a little bit older age where the traditional squat isn't like your most favorable thing. And then you're able to pull that down and you're locked in.
Okay.
So pretty neat machine here. That is one of the cool things with this gym is they do pride themselves on getting those new and advanced machines just to kind of progress your experience. So I'm going to lead you guys a little bit deeper again. So as we come in here, you can see that we do have a huge variety of cable rigs. So for your pull downs, rows experience, we have all your free weight benches. So we have your flat bench presses, your inclines. We even have some standing presses over there.
Oh, nice.
So a few different ranges that you can kind of leverage depending on where you are in your level of fitness. Over here we do have a posing room too, so a place where you can go check that progress, make sure that we're building the right things. Plus, it's always nice to have an area where you can kind of go and get a little bit vain. I think a little bit of vanity is good for your health.
Documenting that hard
Exactly.
work, right?
So now we're getting to more of our assisted areas, what I call it, because it's going to be an area completely machine based. And when I say assisted, I mean it just takes out like the stability, takes out the balance part of it. So all these are going to be machines that are going to leverage not having to like stabilize, so to speak, or balance out. You're able to just kind of press heavy, which I kind of like. So,
especially for beginners, that might be a good kind of place to start.
Well, yeah, so beginners, and then, you know, obviously that opposite spectrum, when you are getting to a little bit of that older age where, you know, moving weight is a little bit harder, we want to help you out as much as we can. So having a few different machines that can kind of simulate those movements in a safe way is kind of what we lean towards. So this is probably one of our more women-friendly areas, because this is going to be our booty builder area. So we have quite a few different booty builder machines, so things to help with sculpting, obviously, the butt. So I feel like when it comes to girls who want training, that's kind of the biggest area, is that you want little waist, big butts. So we got a really good area for that. So one of the cool ones that we have here is going to be a kickback machine. So you would place your knee on it like this, and this is one that does take a little bit more flexibility, which you're going to see that that's not my strongest point. So you're going to brace it like this, and then you're going to get back here, and then all you're going to do is you're going to kick this back. So as you see, this machine does pivot a little bit and keeps you in more of a more beneficial kind of range of motion and area. So you're going to be able to kick this back, get a really good squeeze in a safe range of motion and area. So I always let my clients know that it's going to look a little bit weird when you get in there. It's going to seem like a torture device, but you're going to thank yourself for doing it. And it's always good to get a little bit uncomfortable when it comes to these newer machines, because you'll be surprised, some of the good ones are going to be on that opposite side of sadly uncomfortable. But so this will be that booty builder area. And then as you see, we have a few other ones when it comes to like chest supported machines, and then ranging from, you know, your leg day machines realistically. So we have ranges from, you know, new guys to those guys who've been doing it for years. So no matter what level you are, there's always something here for you realistically.
And, you know, as we've talked about, you know, new year, not giving up on those resolutions, just getting in here and putting in the work and not being discouraged with the progress you see.
Exactly. I mean, Rome wasn't built in a day, so neither is your health and fitness. It is a process, and even someone like me who's been doing this 15 years, I'm still not where I want to be, but, you know, I'm at where I need to be. So it's a process. It takes it one day at a time.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to be right back.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:32. I'm Samantha Walker. The Lions Club in Baxter Springs is hosting a ceremony to honor cancer survivors and families who have lost loved ones to the disease. Donors to Ronald McDonald House will receive a white bag to decorate and a tea light candle to honor those currently battling cancer. Participants can also walk laps around the gym to pay tribute to their family members and support the cause.
We're going to line that gymnasium with all these decorated, beautiful bags, and then people can walk or they can sit on the bleachers and they can just remember their loved ones. Maybe it's someone that's passed away from cancer, or maybe it's just someone that's passed away, or maybe it's just someone they just want to remember because they're going through hard times right now.
The event starts at 1 p.m. this Saturday at Baxter Springs High School. Now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Ourselves again at least once a week. I'll turn that off and forget to turn it back on. We've got a beautiful day out there, though. You really don't even need to hear me say it, just because you can look. Sunny skies, it looks nice downtown Pittsburgh. Heading over to West Coast Camera, 7th and Range Line. Again, just right now at the position of the sun, the tower this thing's attached to is like right here. But there's the sunrise, and there's those clear skies. We're taking a look at the KDOT camera, 69, just north of Baxter Springs. Clear skies, clear roads, which is nice, and warm weather still on the horizon for us yet again today. Clear skies also from the MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line in Joplin. Our temperature's a bit chilly in some spots. Let's see what we've got on the board. We've got Sedan at 42, still the warm spot. Our coldest location is still Grove at 30, but in between We've got some 30s. We're all still technically above average. Even if it's not by a lot, it's still technically above normal. Future track for today, we will have gusty north winds, similar to yesterday, just a different direction. A couple of clouds possible in our far northeastern counties. Otherwise, clear skies out there and just another beautiful day for us. We'll head about mid-40s by 9, a nice warm up here, upper 50s by noon. Heading close to 60, maybe even some low 60s for those highs today. And north winds 5 to 15, gusting to 25. We will stay warm through, well, let me rephrase that. We'll stay above average at least through next Thursday. We've still got those rain chances on the way. Details on all of that in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Thanks, Chris. Early voting is underway for the Miami school bond election. The Miami Public School District is asking voters to approve a $15.7 million bond issue for safety improvements and facility upgrades. The bond would build a new lower elementary school at the current Will Rogers Middle School site, make significant upgrades to Nichols Upper Elementary, and renovate the Miami Innovation Center. There would be no projected tax increase. Voters can go to the community room at the courthouse annex again today to vote from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. Election day is next Tuesday. Polls open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Fifth graders at Carthage Intermediate Center are marching to the beat of their own drum, turning learning into a parade using creativity to bring figurative language to life. The project, led by a second-year teacher, challenged students to dress as literal representations of common idioms, thus turning phrases into costumes such as class clown, under the weather, and hitting the books. The activity ties directly into classroom lessons on idioms, while also helping students practice presentation, listening, and communication skills. Well, winter fishing season is underway in Kansas. Conservationists spent the afternoon yesterday at Gunn Park in Fort Scott restocking Fern Lake with about 600 rainbow trout. They slid the fish down a chute into the water. It's part of a statewide effort to stock more than 30 bodies of water across Kansas. All fish stocked are a catchable size, with a few lunkers to give anglers the opportunity to catch a trophy. Despite yesterday's warm temps, the lake's frozen condition did create a unique challenge for the restocking effort. Joplin will soon join the international community thanks to its bike park. Joplin's Momentum Bike Park joins cycling communities around the world, including Sydney, Australia, Valence, France, Sheffield, England, and Yantai City, China, as hosts for the 2026 Velo Solutions UCI Pump Track Wildfire events. Pump Track is a fast-paced head-to-head race which requires riders to navigate the track without pedals. Joplin will serve as only one of 4 U.S. communities to host these events. Qualifiers take place in Joplin August 15th and 16th. That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Shannon Becker shares his top 3 biggest stories of the week.
Here's your Skywatch weather forecast from the trusted Roper Kia Weather Center.
We got another warm day ahead of us, and it's going to be absolutely beautiful. Clear skies, just a wonderful fan. This is why I said earlier this week, remember maybe Wednesday I think I started saying it, everybody should have today and tomorrow off. It doesn't always work that way, but if you do have today, tomorrow, or even Sunday off, enjoy it. It's going to be pretty decent out there. Clear skies, couple of clouds in our far northeastern counties. That is the only thing showing up on Future Track 4 today at least. And we'll have the gusty north winds this time instead of gusty southwest winds. But as we discussed yesterday too, north breeze not stopping the warming process whatsoever. Now, once we get past about, say 10 o'clock, midnight, we'll start to go partly cloudy. Because we're going to be clear for so long and we're only looking at partly cloudy skies overnight, we're going to lose some of that heating. So we're actually going to be a little colder tonight than where we started this morning and where we were last night, but we'll still technically in most cases be above normal. Winds will shift out of the northeast late evening and overnight, and as we head through the day Saturday, we'll start going some partly cloudy skies, maybe even briefly mostly cloudy skies here and there, and winds will begin to shift out of the south through the afternoon into the evening. As we go into our Sunday, clear skies initially overnight, and then we'll start to see clouds increasing, and the first half or so of our Sunday is mostly cloudy. But then those skies will begin to clear on out of here. Excuse me, not the skies. If the sky clears out, we've got issues. The clouds will begin to clear out of here as we head into Sunday evening, overnight, and into early Monday. And because our rain system is about a day behind now, at least with today's data, the new data this morning has slowed it down and moved our rain and everything else one day back. That's why our cloud cover is lining up a day late as well. So we were expecting mostly cloudy skies tomorrow and then clearing late, and then late Sunday, clouds increasing ahead of rain chances Monday. It's all been moved back, so skies clear out late Sunday. We are clear the first, I'll say 3/4 of our Monday is the expectation. Clouds will increase later in the day, and then the rain chances will start to build in. And because we'll be so sunny on Monday, so clear for so long, we're going to be a little warmer. We'll show you that in just a moment. As for today, clear skies already, excuse me, out there. Upper 30s to begin. Mid-50s by 11 a.m. Our highs today approaching 60, maybe even some low 60s down south. And like yesterday, just out of the north breeze today, 5 to 15 with gusts to 25. Winds ease up and will begin to shift out of the northeast by late evening. We're into the upper 30s and low 40s by 10. And like I said, because we're so clear for so long and only partly cloudy tonight, our lows a little colder, back around 30. Northeast winds still at 5 to 10. South winds 5 to 10 tomorrow, still warm, upper 50s, maybe some low 60s. Sunday even warmer, mid-60s. Monday, we could be looking at a point of having record highs in some cases as we go in the low 70s. The rain chances start building in, though, Tuesday through Friday. We stay above average through at least Thursday. Then we're a little below average on Friday. Valentine's Day, not looking too bad, though. We're seasonably cool into the upper 40s. And then we're back to the mid-50s by next Sunday. Let's check your forecast. Coming up next, we've got Alex Gandy from Dress to Impress inviting you to support students by donating gently used professional clothing. We'll have a chat with him right after this.
Well, welcome back. We've got Alex from Missouri Southern State University here to talk about the annual Dress to Impress event. Good morning, Alex. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to talk about Dress to Impress.
So can you tell us a little bit, for those at home who may not know, what Dress to Impress is?
Yeah, so Dress to Impress is a professional clothing giveaway event for students. And so this is our 12th annual event. And what we realized is one of the ways, like, how can we equip a student to feel confident to enter their career or to go to that job interview? And one of those simple things that they need is those professional clothes. And so boom, Dress to Impress happened. And it's like a pop-up department store at Missouri Southern where students can come between 9 a.m. or 4 p.m. on February 25th and no appointment necessary. And they walk out with 3 to 4 like full outfits of professional clothing and at no charge.
Amazing. And luckily, this is an event, you know, the community can really get involved with, even if they're not a student.
Yes, we are so thankful for our four-state community. This event wouldn't happen without them. And so we take lightly used donations. And so if you're watching at home and you have some professional clothes, right? Like think of suits, blazers, pants, blouses, dresses, accessories, or shoes, the whole 9 yards from head to toe, and you want to pass that forward, Dress to Impress would love to have those.
Amazing. And I know I've helped cover Dress to Impress in the past, and it's always an incredible event to see so many kids being helped. But I know one of the other parts is the volunteers who are also there helping make it possible, you know, the mentorship as well that these students get.
Absolutely. So think of a pop-up department store or any retail environment, how you need people there to help keep things organized. We served over 400 students in one single day last year, and that's why we need your help, whether that's donating a garment of clothing or even coming to help the day of the event to mentor and coach these students to help them understand. If you're pursuing accounting or manufacturing or construction or anything in between, right? What are those expectations in the workplace for your wardrobe? And Dress to Impress really helps equip those students with that knowledge and information, but also most of all, equips them with professional clothes.
Amazing. And for the students who turn out and are able to get this help and this assistance, you know, what's their reaction to it? How are they feeling walking away at the end of the day?
Why it's one of my favorite events of the year is that you see students walking out, not just excited about their clothes, but feeling more confident about who they are as a person and their career that's in front of them after graduation. And so students are grinning ear to ear and they got arms full of clothes and they just can't believe that this is an event that's for real. And I just want to thank the four-state community for supporting it and continuing to donate professional clothes for these students who are walking out and entering their career paths.
And I know every donation goes such a long way to helping prepare these kids. For those at home who are either, wanting to make a donation of something they have or wanting to maybe donate their time that day, is there a certain place that they should look for more information?
Yes, so they can go to our website, mssu.edu/career. Or hey, if you wanted to bring your donation by, you can bring it to Missouri Southern, bring it to Hearns Hall, but just park right outside. Give us a call at 417-625-9343, and we'll come right to your car and pick up your donation from your vehicle.
Amazing. And just one more time for those watching at home, maybe there's a kid who's watching and be like, I need to make sure, or a mom watching be like, you need to go to this event.
Yeah,
get ready. What time and day again?
Yep, so it is on Wednesday, February 25th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And so if you're a student out there wanting to attend, please come. No appointment necessary. If you want to donate those clothes, we need those by Monday, February 23rd.
Well, sounds great, Alex. Thank you so much. We're going to have more information about Dress to Impress as well, linked on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
We'll be right back. This is your Wake Up Recap for February 7th, your top stories to start your day. A fully involved house fire broke out in Cherryvale, Kansas Wednesday night. Independence Fire assisted local crews with an engine and 3 personnel. There were no injuries, and the Kansas State Fire Marshal's office is assisting with the investigation. Crawford County may soon hit the brakes on public transportation. The Southeast Kansas Community Action Program needs $144,000 by February 13th, or bus services will stop. The program provides rides to doctor's appointments and essential services for people who cannot drive. 70% of funding comes from state and federal resources, but the remaining 30% relies on donations that are running out. That's a check of today's Wake Up Recap.
And again, a very nice day ahead of us. Clear skies out there, 50s and maybe even some low 60s. North winds 5 to 15, gusting to 25. So breezy like yesterday, and as I've mentioned this morning, just from a different direction is all. Clear skies through the evening, low 40s and upper 30s by 10. But because we're clear through the late evening and we're only going partly cloudy overnight, we will be a little colder tonight, dropping down to about 30. Winds late evening overnight shifting out of the northeast at 5 to 10. Later in the day Saturday, south winds 5 to 10. Upper 50s, mid 60s Sunday. Could even see some record highs on Monday if we get enough sunshine in here. Low 70s. Rain chances Tuesday through Friday, staying above normal through Thursday. Temperatures a little below normal Friday. Valentine's Day seasonably cool and dry at this point. Upper 40s, mid 50s though for Sunday.
I'm looking forward to these nicer, warmer temperatures.
Oh, same. It was nice yesterday, even better today.
Yes.
So get out there and enjoy it. We want to thank you all so much for joining us this morning. We'll be back with more news and weather on the KOAM News at noon.
Have a great rest of your morning.